And we'll see if Leenock's going to close it up here, or if the STC can crawl it back.
Yeah, it's the first time I'll be casting Metropolis on this event. It's a very unique choice there by STC. Let's see. Do you know if STC is the type of player that likes to go for something like Banshees or Cloak Banshees?
No, I mean, he can open up the regular Hellion Banshee style, but I feel on this map we may see just like one, or even command center first here into 3 command centers. I think on a map this big, that may be the option. Hellion Banshees on a map this size, I don't think he'd get the same results or similar results as you would on a smaller map, but it's still definitely a viable option here as we get ready to load in to the next map. Very excited for this one. This is top tier StarCraft 2 play right in front of your eyes. These 2 players head to head. Who's going to get top 6? Can it be the SCC or will it be Leenock?
Yeah, we're getting spoiled here by some amazingly high-level StarCraft 2 play. It's going to be disappointing for most of us once we get back to the ladder and we see how we're playing. But then again, we're also learning here. And, well, it's just a real treat to see these guys playing here. SCC played so amazing. One mistake is all it takes to go down to a player like Leenock's caliber.
And in the loser bracket, Grubby, there are a lot of good players.
Yeah, too many, in fact. It's really quite scary when you think about it.
What's on your mind?
Welcome to IPL 5 Metropolis.
Welcome to Metropolis, Grubby.
Thank you.
We have our first player of 2 spawning here. Down in the bottom left, he is...
FXO Leenock.
Yeah, Leenock up 1-0. He's looking to close out this series, but SCC has something to say about that. Here on the right side position, the blue Terran down 1-0 from Team Quantic. He is...
Quantic the STC.
The STC's had quite a remarkable StarCraft 2 career. Was originally one of the better Terrans, or probably one of the best Terrans in the initial stages of StarCraft 2, playing for the team, the OGS, or OGS should I say. And then he had to, I think it was military services, I think he had to go to in the middle of his career, but he made a fantastic return to the scene and is playing live for you now, fighting for a top 6 finish here at IPL.
Yeah, he also has a lot of experience at the MLG. He's been playing in a lot of the MLGs, always doing respectably, never a champion yet. How he would love to be just that. But he strikes me as a bit of a nervous player, like very emotional. He's very nice. Does he have the tenacity to come back here from 0-1 against a player whose reputation really precedes him? Could it be that he has too much respect for Leenock? It was an odd move when he left that hatchery alive in the last game. Can he rally and come back here? I'd love to see a 3rd game for one. And I hope that STC has it in him to deliver just that.
Well, we do have a gas pretty early on here. It wasn't a super early gas, but a gas nonetheless here. So we definitely are going to be seeing the use of it early on. Could be quite early reactor Heinz. I guess that's kind of the only option, to be honest. But there are a couple of other strategies that have been used over time, as that drone does get one shot by the Marine.
No mano a mano there. High pistol.
And the complete wall-off as well. So not such an economy focus opening this time by the STC.
Yeah, and it was drone scouted by Leenock, who went hatchery first. Drone scout, definitely not something that happens every game, but Leenock felt like he had a solid read that he should find out what SCC is doing on this game. Of course, this is GSL Metropolis. Metropolis used to be plagued by some FPS drop issues. I do think that's fixed already. Most of the culprits have been removed from the map. I'm glad. I'm just glad we still have that iPistol poster.
That was pretty funny. It was a good timing to see that one, that's for sure. As we have the reactor coming down on the barracks, as well as a factory in the main. Immediately, Leenock, upon seeing a gas taken early, question marks were risen within the booth, and he immediately took gas, immediately got speed, and immediately is adding on extra queens, wants to know what the hell is going on here. And he doesn't quite have Overlords in position yet to find out. As we can see, they're trying to slowly get there, but it is a big map. He's about to have one outside the main base. So it is going to get pushed back, as we can see this Overlord. There's Marines already hunting it down, and Leenock furiously trying to find out what is the SCC planning.
Yeah, those two Marines were trying to go on an intersection course with that Overlord, but it was already flying away, and now that one Marine will try to deny information. Overlord doesn't like it, doesn't like the idea of giving its life for the swarm. It's a very selfish Overlord. We'll try to fly out in time.
And it did see the lack of second gas, so he knows that it's not Cloak Banshee at least. So we can start to put, puzzle together, and that obviously means there's got to be Hellions, there's got to be Marines, there's got to be something coming, which is why we see Leenock just building 18 Lings. Why would you expand at this point of the game when you are threatened by some form of aggression? And the SCC actively denying scouting means that something is coming, as we can see Marines, Hellions, and the starport is constructed, so I'm sure we'll see a Medivac come out as well.
Kind of the type of build that we see a lot in Terran versus Protoss, but not necessarily that much against Zerg. Just Marines and a Medivac and Hellions. Quite unusual. That means that STC will be very invested in doing damage here early on against Leenock. Leenock is on 3 queens and 18 Zerglings. Now started again producing drones. I'm not sure Leenock really has a read yet on exactly what's going on. Of course, not seeing that second gas, that was a pretty big tell. And then he saw only Marines so far, so I guess he can kind of guess that it's Marines and Hellions.
Yeah, I mean, he can kind of guess it. He doesn't know if it's a drop or not, which we could be seen out here, but one thing is certain is that there's been units been picked up across the map, a handful of Marines here, handful of Marines here, which is kind of pushed this down, and 4 Hellions at this stage of the game against 3 Queens and 16 Lings that are out. Leenock must be feeling really comfortable, and the SCC's choice of strategy in this game could cost him dearly.
But interestingly, STC doesn't seem like he's doing one of those, I'm going to do a bit of damage and then I'm going to go back on macro. This is almost taking shape to be almost a fully fledged one base all-in. Now he does have a lot of minerals storing up, 650 minerals. Oh, nice pickup there by Leenock.
Yeah, and he can actually pick off the other Hellion too, so 3 Hellions for just a bunch of Lings there. But we are about to see the development of this attack. 4 Hellions actively on the map, 8 Marines in a Medivac as well. But at this point, there's 10 Lings out on the field. There's about to be 20 more. So I'm still very curious to see, can the SCC actually do it? I mean, there's still no command center. So at this point of the game, he has to. And oh my god, the SCVs are actually coming off the line. I can see on the mini-map. But there's a Baneling nest down.
Yeah, Banelings are pretty good against SCVs, especially when the SCVs are on attack move towards you. There comes the terrain. And there comes the pain.
Yes, well, let's see how long it takes Leenock to actually see it. He hasn't seen it yet. Narrowly doesn't see it. He is building 12 more Lings anyway because the threat is there. And now the control has to be perfect from here from the SCC. A lot of Lings do melt. No Banelings have been morphed yet either.
He can start trying to repair those Hellions, perhaps. There's a Hellion very low life there, but it's still doing damage. And Leenock is not morphing in any Banelings yet. Just 1 Baneling coming there, 7 Banelings coming. The Queens are going down. This is looking very powerful here for the STC.
Wow, and what seemed like almost impossible chance here for the SCC to make it. He seems to be doing it, but he has to defend against these Banelings. He must not take damage against these Banelings. They're coming from the above. Oh, the SCVs are all going to get blown up. Half of them go down, but there are still more Banelings on the south side. Lings coming as well. Can the SCV survive against it? Oh, I don't think so. That seems to be it. GG. Leenock does it in a very quick fashion here. Well, what a game that was, Grubby.
What a game that was. Baneling's pretty good against everything that only has light armor, Marines, Hellions, and SCVs. I feel like it might have been able to work for SCC, but he lost 3 Hellions and 7 Marines or so before the attack proper.
Yeah. That's true, but well, Leenock is moving up to the top 6 of this tournament, will go on to face against Pult in the winners semi-final. Of course, the SCC is still in the winner bracket, or was still in the winner bracket, moves down, has a second opportunity within this tournament to continue to rise the ranks.